So, this right here is my self-love story. Now, I don't really know where are you going? I don't really know where to start with this. Um, so I went to a middle school in the Bronx. I wasn't short, but I wasn't tall. Know who I was. I didn't have an identity. I didn't know, you know, what I was really into. I didn't find myself. Um, the other guys there, all them other niggas look like grown ass men. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. There were niggas that used to play ball. Um, Niggas that used to be the bad boys, and all the bitches would like them. Um, and it put me in an uncomfortable box because I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know.
Can you stop licking my sheets, please? Thank you.
I didn't know what it was that I was good at. You know, I didn't know what attributes I had to make me attractive. So when I was in middle school, it was really awkward trying to talk to girls that I liked because number one, that was my first interactions romantically with a girl. So I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know how to ask them out. I didn't know how to confess my feelings, whatever the case may be. And during this time in the black community, it was light skin versus dark skin. And I'm brown skin, so I didn't get no love at all. All the other guys that, all of my friends, all of them got bitches, and I was just there as a bystander. I was basically, and I wouldn't say I was a troublemaker, but I got in trouble trying to seem cool to other people. You know what I mean? Like when a teacher says, "Oh, stop talking," and then you keep talking so you can seem cool and seem like a bad boy and shit. Yeah, I tried to be like that because I remember this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but I remember she said that she likes bad boys, and I was like, oh, so I gotta act like a bad boy in order for her to like me. Ironic, and I didn't realize this till like a couple months ago, that my first experiences with racism was with my own race. So there were black girls telling me, oh, I don't like black boys, or I don't like your type of black boy, or oh, I don't date brown skin guys, etc., etc. And stuff like that when you're growing up really sticks with you. You know what I'm saying? Like it really hits you emotionally, especially if you aren't that confident in yourself. I mean, I know, my parents have told me that I'm attractive, but they didn't always reinforce it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't need reinforcement to know that something is true or know that something isn't true. But at that age, I had girls that I liked telling me, oh, I don't like your type, I don't like your skin tone, etc., etc. And they would always go for the light skinned guys over me. I remember there was this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, I'm gonna say her name was, I really can't think of a name. I'm gonna call her, Ariel, there we go. I think that was actually her middle name, but I'm gonna call her Ariel. Her, I had a crush on from since I got into middle school. So I was trying to not get with her because at that time I didn't even, sex wasn't even a thing that was on my mind. At that time it was really genuine and innocent. Not saying that when I'm pursuing a girl now it was not genuine and innocent. At least in my head now I have, emotional and y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say. So with her, like I said, I didn't know how to talk to girls. So when I tried to talk to her, it always come out weird. I always, said things at the wrong time. And then one of my friends wanted to get with her, and I was like, nah, you're wildin'. So we basically had this competition to see who she'd go for first, and she chose a light-skinned guy over me, which made my self-esteem drop even lower. I remember this one girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but it's the girl that I referred to before, not Ariel. And it was in the middle of English class. Like we was about to go on the line to go to lunch. I think I was dared to ask her out, but I asked her out, and like before she got online, I asked her out, and she started laughing like hysterically. Like I can't even explain how hard she laughed. And then she just said like no. Middle of her laugh, she said no, and then everybody else in the class heard me ask her that and heard her laugh, and then they started laughing, and then I laughed. So I could like cover how hurt I was, I guess you could say. That was the majority of my middle school, and then that's only, I mean, I didn't have a phone, I think, until 8th grade. Yeah, until 8th grade. I had, people telling me I'm ugly, and, black boys are ugly, and brown skin guys are ugly, etc., etc. And that shit stuck with me all the way until high school. And then when high school came, freshman year, I was still insecure, and my self-esteem was kind of low, despite, Spanish women. And it's kind of ironic, and it's, black girls always like to come not really at me. I remember I had like 2 of them come at me saying, oh, black guys never want to go for their race, and, they always want to go fuck with a Spanish girl or a white girl, etc., etc. But think of it, I mean, don't get me wrong, that there's a lot of cases that, you see people and they go from black to white or any lighter complexion, etc., etc. But think of it in my perspective. I came from a middle school where every black girl that I wanted was very dismissive in regards to dating me. Going into high school, where my high school was predominantly Spanish, specifically Dominican, they were all welcoming, affectionate, they were all attentive. And it's more, I could say it's a cultural thing, because each culture interacts with their significant other differently, going from the way that Indians, interact with their significant other, to how white girls do so, to how black girls do so. And usually women, from what I've heard and from what I've experienced, not saying that this is true, but from what I've heard and experienced, usually women from the Caribbean tend to be more affectionate and attentive to their partner's needs. Not saying that there aren't, don't get me wrong, don't go and twist my fucking words. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there aren't black girls that are very affectionate, attentive, and take care of, quote unquote, their man's needs. And I'm not talking about sexual, I'm just talking about interacting them on an emotional level, etc., etc. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you from my experience, that is what I encountered. I encountered women that actually listened to what I wanted to say, and that understood that I didn't know how to talk to them, and the whole 9. Freshman year, I dated I think I was 13 and she was 17 or 16, something like that. But yeah, I was a freshman and I dated a senior. And there's this thing that we had in my school called Summer Bridge, where you go and it's basically like an orientation type thing. She was one of the, I guess you could say, chaperones or volunteers to help the teachers. And we started talking through there, and one of my friends, Elijah, he was, I think we became really cool through Summer Bridge, because I didn't have anybody to sit with. All the people that went there, well, the majority of the ones that went there, they had at least one person they knew, because the surrounding middle schools, they all just went from middle school to high school together. I came from, uptown near, Gun Hill area, and went all the way down to the South Bronx. So I really didn't have anybody, because I didn't want to go to the high school Truman over here, because I didn't want to deal with any of those girls that I was dubbed by. So like I said, I went down there, I went to the Summer Bridge program, everything was great. We started talking through there. My homie Elijah was talking to her, I'm gonna call her Stephanie. He was talking to Stephanie's, I guess you could say, her best friend, or at least one of them, Sabrina, I don't know. Everything was great. We would go to like Burger King after school, and we would talk and chit chat or whatever. This was BBM days and shit. And Elijah, he started telling me that he was, now don't get me wrong, I have nothing against, that's my homie, you feel me? But we was both young at the time, so was feeling Stephanie. And I was like, pause, I'm feeling Stephanie. Actually, I don't even remember what he said after that. I just remember that we both stated that we was feeling her. We put it on Stephanie, and Stephanie told, I don't know if she told Elijah, but she told me, I don't know who to choose. I don't know if I want you or if I want him. And thinking back on it, I didn't really think of it as, I'm not gonna say disrespect, but you don't really say that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really say that to somebody young like that. Like, in the summer I was 12. No, or was I 13? Because I turned 14 and then she turned 17. Yeah, okay. And after the summer of the flirting and romanticizing, etc., etc., I remember I went up as soon as I went up the stairs, amongst all the people there, the first thing I saw was Elijah kissing Stephanie. I think that was the first time that I was ever really hurt, because I didn't have any words to say, and you know, I felt really insecure because Elijah's light skin and I'm brown skin, and I was like, bro, this is the first day of school. And then I remember I couldn't even go to class because of some situation with my records or something like that. So I was sitting in the main office, not on my phone. I wasn't texting her back because I think she saw that I saw, and I just, you know, walked away or some shit like that. And I sat in the office just hurt, and I didn't know what to do. I just felt all these emotions, and I was just like, bro, I'm some ugly ass nigga, because I felt like I had a very nice personality. I mean, I know I didn't develop, you know, to the standard that I'm at now, but I was like, bro, like, am I really that unattractive that no girl wants to be with me? Prince! Oh, sorry about that. My little fucking Prince heard the doorbell and that nigga went off. So anyways, where did I leave off? Prince, it's okay. She's not here anymore. I really don't remember what I was talking about. So I'm gonna just move on, because I can't remember what I was talking about. Great, I think it was like the beginning of Instagram. So everybody was figuring out how to use this platform of media. So I was like one of, you know, we were one of the first people to be on Instagram. Social media is not a good place for young people, for young teenagers that have just began puberty. Like this was another, this goes into one of my biggest self-love issues, was Spanish guys. I remember being on Instagram and I would see guys, in particular Spanish guys. I remember specifically there was this guy, and he posted a picture of his collarbone. Like, it was like the picture was just his shoulder and then up to like his jaw and then his collarbone. My nigga, this motherfucker got like 500 some odd likes, whole bunch of comments and shit. You know, like any young person, you emulate so you can try and get the same attention or clout like they did. So I did that. And back then, it wasn't like how it is now, where you see 1 like, 2 like, 10 likes, 15. Back then, if you could still see the users' names, the people that liked your photo, you ain't shit. And I remember I posted that picture, and I would sit there and wait, and you know, you could still see the people's username. I just took it as, wow, a guy can post a picture of his collarbone, but you know, I can't post a selfie or do the same thing without getting, you know, no attention. I got like no comments. I mean, back then I used like shitty Instagram filters and shit, but you know, that stuff already coming from a situation where the very first girl that I was attracted to in high school, she chose a light-skinned guy. Coming from middle school where black girls were the ones saying, oh, you are ugly and I don't like brown-skinned guys, and you know, you gotta be a tough guy, and you know, I like this, that, and you know, it hits harder. It took me so long because, like I said, I tried to emulate the people that I wanted to be like, and it really made me not appreciate being black, because, well, number one, everybody thought I was Dominican because of, you know, my skin tone. You know, Dominicans come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Worst year I've had in high school is between sophomore and freshman. Freshman year was the first time that I ever got suspended, and the last. All those insecurities came back, and I really tried my hardest to be Spanish because I felt that was what girls liked. That girls liked baseball players with big butts, and you know, the girls liked the guys with the really, really curly hair, and you know, that could dance bachata and dembow and merengue and all that other shit. So I tried to learn everything. I learned bachata, I learned dembow, and I learned how to speak with an accent, and it even went towards changing my appearance. I started dressing like them. You know, it was hard. It was hard. Because I hated Spanish guys. I hated that their hair was a certain texture, and I felt that I wasn't, people used to make fun of my hair texture, and I felt that I wasn't attracted because my hair was kinky curly. I wanted the loose curls. I wanted my hair to flow, and I could put it in a bun, and shit like that. This story, I'm gonna come all the way clean with y'all. There's nothing to hide from, any of you guys. But I remember I was so obsessed with being attractive that all kinds of things. And by the way, I have eczema. I'm gonna get to that too. I have eczema, and I had cystic acne. If you don't know what cystic acne is, shit is fucking horrible. You develop big, as big as my fucking knuckle. You develop big, huge pimples on your face, full of pus and shit, and they were all over. Well, I wouldn't say on your face. They can develop on your face, but they can develop anywhere. But they developed on my face, of course, and they were all over my face, from here, on the forehead, on, in my T-zone, bro. They were everywhere. They were everywhere. Fucking sucked, man. It was horrible. So every time that I addressed the pimples, my eczema would break out. Every time that I addressed the eczema, the pimples would break out. There was this one girl, and I'm not gonna say her name, but there was this one girl, and I came up to, third floor to go to computer class, and she literally pointed at my face and said, "Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're so ugly." And I was like, bro, I try to brush it off and shit, but that shit really hits you, bro. Shit was horrible. I remember I put a texturizer in my hair. It was to loosen my hair texture. And, it was good. I was like, fuck, yes. My hair isn't all the way like a Spanish guy's, but it was getting there. And I stuck with that, and he thought that at some point I looked attractive. But I still didn't feel that way. And girls would tell me, "Oh, hey, you're cute," or whatever. I didn't feel it, because it's different when you have people telling you that, but then you also got Spanish girls, the ones that were so welcoming and loving towards you, saying, "Oh, I don't date black guys," or "Black guys aren't my type," or "Oh, if you were a little bit lighter, I would date you." And that shit, man, I'm not gonna get into this topic deeply, but black women have it. You could feel how you want. I don't really give a fuck of your opinion. I don't care. But black women have it the worst, bro. For the most part, everybody likes Spanish girls. For the most part, everybody likes an Asian girl. But, with them, they don't have issues of skin tone. Black girls, not only do you have black guys saying, "Oh, I don't like dark-skinned girls," but you got everybody else saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna date you because of your hair texture. I'm not gonna date you because of your skin tone." My nigga, bro, it's bad for black guys that deal with that, but I can't, it pales in comparison to black girls, bro. Emotionally, that fucks me up. I can only imagine how it feels for black women, bro, because shit hurts. Put that shit in my hair and fucked up my whole hair texture. In addition to that, eczema and damn near psoriasis and cystic acne. Shit was hard, man. Shit was really hard to deal with all of that. Social media is a very, very, very mean place. I judged my appearance and my worth based on my response on Instagram. So if I got a lot of likes, back then, 20 likes meant the world to me. 30 likes meant the world to me. I was like, damn, this many people like this photo. That shit means a lot. And, going, since I don't remember what I was talking about, going to my eczema, my skin conditions, that shit only made me feel uglier, bro. And I have, you'll probably see it in pictures that I have scarring, just light scarring, on my back. And even now, it still flares up, not as bad as it did before, but it still flares up, and it could flare up just out of nowhere. It could just be a really hot day and it'll